Knicks fans, fourth quarter execution. We gave up 47 points in the fourth quarter. A lot of storylines to this game, a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's get to it. Well, Knicks fans, it's almost like that's exactly what we expect to happen. The Knicks would contend, they would fight, they'd make it look good, we'd get excited. As a matter of fact, I seen somebody on Twitter say it earlier today that the Knicks will, maybe it was Viv who said it, I don't know. But they said the Knicks will come out, be down 2 at half, make you feel like they can win the game. And that's exactly what happened tonight. But there are reasons why. And any reason that I give for what happened tonight doesn't mean that the Knicks would have won. Any reason that anybody else gives doesn't mean that the Knicks would have won this game. But I really think just some of the things that I see, that I think some of the other people that like on the video chat and some of the things that we're all going to see, I think it lends itself more to not that if we would have won or lost this game, but what it means for the future, right? What it means for the future and how this team is going to grow, how this team is going to develop. And, how you're developing in how you're forming a culture, how you're developing your rotations, how you're developing your structure, how you're holding people accountable, right? Some of the things that happened today is making me call some things into question, and I'm going to say what they are soon enough. Right, but there's just some things that I'm calling into questions because, well, we'll talk about it. Let's recap the game real quick. The game ended up being a blowout, as you all can see, 128-100. And as a matter of fact, when I went back and looked at the box score, I was so surprised. I said, "Wow, it really became 128-100." Couldn't believe it. It really became 128-100. A game where in the fourth quarter we were tied at like 91 or something like that. And we gave up 47 points in the fourth quarter. This is the second game where we've given up 45 points or more in a quarter. That's just ridiculous. It is just ridiculous to give up 45 points. I don't care who you're playing, really. And we just broke down. Now, obviously, the Golden State Warriors have some players, caliber players that we just don't have. Kevin Durant, as you can see. And then they have a team defense that we just don't have. And then they have a confidence where they just know that they're going to be able to turn it up. At least against a team like us. Against other teams, if they're playing, San Antonio or Boston, they may not be so sure that they can just turn it on. But they knew they could just turn it up. And not only because they were more talented, just because, they can look at our squad and see the youth on the floor, and they knew that they were going to be able to turn it up. But there are some key things in this game that just... I don't want to question Fizdale yet, but I can't help it. Because when I look and I say, this is what I would have done, I can't help but to question him. But then also, as a coach, I understand when you're in the midst of a game, it is very, very hard to make calls, which is why your assistant coaches have to be there to help lead you when it comes to adjustments, rotations, recognizing things happening on the floor. Your assistant coaches really have to be a big part of what's happening. And if they're not, then you may be in trouble. Because as the head coach, I don't care who you are, as the head coach, you're not going to see everything. And I don't think Fizdale's seen everything tonight. I really don't. Or, one of the things about Fizdale that I notice, sometimes he needs to pull the trigger quicker. Right? He sees at right now, he's got to be able to recognize some of the tendencies in some of our players. And when he sees the tendency for a player either to get into a one-on-one mode, get into a dribble mode, or a player that, if Frank isn't attacking and you see he looks timid tonight, I mean, there are times when you've got to have a trigger, right? If something is hurting the team or has can hurt the team, and you see that person falling into one of those moments, you gotta have a quick trigger. Pull a guy out, sit him down, and let him know this is why I'm sitting you down. You know what I mean? And there is a specific guy that I'm talking about, and it's not Trey Burke. You guys already know who it is. It's not Trey Burke. Trey Burke did get into a couple of moments, but you know what? He also got hot in the third quarter. He did. Give it to him. He got hot. And there was a point in the third quarter where I'm looking at the game and Trey Burke is hot, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what will I do as a coach? What do I do now? Trey Burke is cooking. Frank, he had been cooking earlier. If I keep him on the bench too long, he may be cold when he gets into the game. He may not be ready. But if I take Trey Burke out, he may lose his spark. What do I do? Well, why don't you take out the guy that's shooting a low percentage? How about that? That's what I don't get. That's what I don't understand. But we'll talk about it. We will talk about that. You know what I mean? We will definitely talk about it. Let's go ahead and go over let's recap the game. I don't have it up here on the topics, but we're gonna recap the game, look at the box score, talk about a few things as it pertains to the box score. Later on, we'll look at our keys to success and see if we actually executed any of those keys. We did a few. I mean, for the first 3 quarters of the game, we looked like the superior team. But we all had to know somewhere along the line that, it was going to happen, that, we all had to know that it was going to happen, that the Golden State Warriors were eventually going to turn things up. They were going to turn up the defense. They were going to begin to execute a little bit better. You had to know it. I knew it. I'm sure you all knew it. We lost by 31 points in the fourth quarter. That's the story of the game. That's why we lost the game. That fourth quarter execution. It's one of our keys to success. Obviously, we didn't execute and implement that key. You can see it's quarter 1, 25-25, quarter 2, 28-28. Another key to success was not having a third quarter collapse. We did not. We won the third quarter 31-28, and then we went on to only score 16 points in the fourth quarter. Now, good teams can execute the way that we executed early in the game, and they can do it consistently throughout a game. Teams that are not good cannot execute consistently throughout a game, which is the reason we lost this game, and which is the reason we are the kind of team that we are, because we cannot execute throughout an entire game. We just do not have the talent on the floor, the discipline. We don't have the discipline though. Right? We have some talent. We're still young. We have a lot of youth. So, when it comes to having youth, you're going to make youthful mistakes. We know that. But I don't know. I feel like we're lacking discipline. At least from what I see on the floor, I feel like we're lacking discipline. Let's take a look at the box score. The Golden State Warriors, Kevin Durant shot 70.8% from the field, 41 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Draymond Green shot 87.5% from the field. 87.5, folks, and that's not a joke. He had 18 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Damian Jones, 2 points. Steph Curry had 29 points, shot 55.6% from the field. Had 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Klay Thompson had an off night, 12 points, 6 for 18 from the field, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And then the rest of the bench, you know, they came in and did what they needed to do. The Golden State Warriors shot 58.6% from the field. They shot 48.5% from 3. They hauled in 39 rebounds. They had 26 assists. And they had 14 turnovers. 10 steals tonight and 6 blocks. Held us to 100 points. The New York Knicks. Damian Dotson had 12 points. 41.7% from the field, 33.3% from 3, 7 rebounds. I love the fact that Damian Dotson rebounds the ball. I really do. I just love the fact that he gets to the boards. And he plays defense. Noah Vonleh had 7 points, 5 rebounds. If you're going to start, we need more. I mean, he played 22 minutes. But we got to get more than that from Noah Vonleh from that 4 spot if he's going to be a starter at that 4 spot. Now, we know that this could very well have just been an experiment. You know, see what it does. Right? See what it does. And for the most part, for 3/4 of the game, the rotations were spot on. Mitchell Robinson, 7 points, 6 rebounds in 29 minutes. Tim Hardaway Jr., 24 points, shot 42.9% from the field. 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Now, I know a lot of people will ask and say, well, you're not getting on Damian Dotson because he was 41.7%. And you're right, I'm not. Because Damian Dotson only took 12 shots. And usually Damian Dotson is somewhere around 50% from the field. When you're Tim Hardaway and you're taking 21 shots and you're shooting 42.9%, that's not a good thing. 4 for 12 from 3-point range. Frank Ntilikina, 17 points, 6 for 11 from the field, 54.5% from the field. 3 for 7 from 3 at 42.9%. 1 rebound, 2 assists. I'd like to see him do a little bit more on that rebounding end. Right? He's 6'7". I think he can get in there and help us get some rebounds. I'd like to see Frank get in on the rebounds a little bit more if it's possible. Not if it's possible. It is possible. I'd like to see Frank get in on the rebounds a little bit more. You know, because, we're a team that, while Cantor is a rebounding machine, we obviously need help on the boards. You know, which is, why I talk about Damian Dotson and say I'm glad that he rebounds. Well, we need Frank Ntilikina to help out on the boards too. You're 6'7", 6'6". Maybe by the end of the year you're 6'7". Grab a couple. Give me 4. Give me 5. 6. And that's Cantor, 8 points, 13 rebounds, only played 20 minutes. Mario Hezonja played 17 minutes, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Trey Burke, 15 points, 41.5% from the field, 42.9% from 3, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. We have 40 rebounds tonight, only 17 assists. We had 19 turnovers tonight. We're a team that, for the most part this season, has been taking care of the basketball. Tonight we had 19 turnovers, and the Golden State Warriors are a team that if you turn the ball over, they are going to capitalize on your turnovers. I thought we did a decent job capitalizing on turnovers as well. Although the Golden State Warriors, a team that, you know, they usually average coming into the game, they average 17 turnovers a game. Tonight they only had 14, which limited our ability to capitalize off of their turnovers. But I felt that we did capitalize off of the turnovers that we did force them into. We just didn't force them into enough turnovers. You know, that's the story of the game right there for you folks. But I mean, that's the story. That's the box score. The story of the game is the fourth quarter and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant showed off for the Garden tonight. You know, he showed off for the Garden tonight. I heard fans cheering him tonight. That I do not like. You know, I will enjoy everything that he's doing. Right? I'll enjoy it. But I'm not going to go ahead and cheer him on just because I want him to come play in New York. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying I want him to come. I'm not saying I don't want him to come. I'm not thinking about it right now. I'm just thinking about our squad. But I'm not going to sit there and cheer the man because he's having a hot night. Now, I know there's some Golden State Warrior fans in the crowd too, but I mean, listen, you're going to enjoy. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy what I see him doing. Just like when Kobe came in and, you know, he was cooking, scored 60 points or whatever he did. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I was like, wow, this dude is killing us. And, you know, just look what he can do. But I wasn't going to, you know, start cheering him, you know, to try to make him feel welcomed in the Garden. I don't want anyone to feel welcomed in the Garden. You know what I mean? Anybody to feel welcomed in the Garden. But Kevin Durant was a big story of the night with his heroics. And he was mad. Kevin Durant was upset at the way that the Golden State Warriors were playing throughout the game, which is the reason why he took over. And when I say he took over, that man took over. There was nothing that we could do. There was not one person on the team that we were going to be able to put on Kevin Durant to stop him from demolishing us. And excuse me for the noise in the background, ladies and gentlemen. No, it's not. It's just, you know, they out there, you know, they're watching. It is what it is. Excuse me for the noise in the background. But lineups, rotations. Let's talk about lineups and rotations. We got some guys in the video chat. We're gonna get to some of the guys in the video chat. You know, talk about, you know, what they seen from the lineups, what they seen from the rotations. Do they think this is a starting five that's going to remain for the season, or at least for a little while? You know, let's talk about it a little bit, and hopefully I can get some peace and quiet in the background, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's a lot of noise, but you know, there's festivities going on behind me. You know, so it is what it is. Sometimes it's like that. We got a lot of people trying to get into the chat, so that means we got a lot of people that have a lot of things to say. You know what I mean? A lot of people got a lot of things to say in the chat. And I'm going to ask you guys that's in the chat, can you guys, there's a lot of people that's where it says guest. Where it says guest. Can you guys make sure you put, okay, we got Polo here. You know, make sure you put your name down in there, because you have the ability to do that in the app. All right. So I'm gonna start with you, Prince, and I just want to get your take on the game. Give us a quick take on the game, and then let us know what you thought about the lineups and the rotations, man. Go for it, bro.
I was definitely you know, impressed to see this team go out there and compete. You know, up until KD decided to take over and show everybody New York is his home. outside of that, I think third quarter probably was our best basketball we've played all season. To me, it's at least definitely offensively. I've seen us make extra passes, finding the open guy, and even getting an open dunk off of swinging the ball around. So honestly, I think guys are maybe somewhat buying into sharing the ball and finding the open shots. Definitely talking with Viv and the other guys, I truly believe in that fourth quarter stretch that KD did take over and we did get stagnant. I believe that, I wish we probably would have stayed with that group that we was hot in the third quarter. Again, can I really hang my hat on it and believe that Fizz lost his game, or it's Fizz's fault because he didn't bring in that group? No. As players, we got to be able to weather storms and keep ourselves in the game until the hot guys get back in. So even if that was the case that Fizz left Franken off, on the bench for an extra minute or two, he still couldn't have did nothing to stop KD from scoring 25 points. So even if we could have maybe scored a couple points, but even with Frank's efficiency and sharing the ball, during that sequence, we wouldn't have stayed up with KD's 25 points that he took up. It's just common sense. And again, maybe everybody in the chat, if y'all just want something to scream about and talk about, you can say what you want. But truly, I believe that we're a growing team, we're a young team, and we learning how to win. I feel sorry for a couple of the other sorry teams, the Kings and people like that. We're gonna blast them. They can forget about beating us, but we'll get those done.
Well, yeah. Hopefully. I mean, I don't know, because we're supposed to beat Brooklyn and we didn't beat Brooklyn. Hopefully, right now we look like a team that we come out and we play up to a team's level and then we play down to a team's level. So, that's the signs of a young team as well. Viv, what do you think, man?
Look, I think the first 3 quarters, great. We had the lineups right. We got the substitutions were pretty good for the first half, and then I just think that. Look, I think the Durant tsunami was bound to happen. It's just my only gripe, honestly, is that it's not the fact that, say, Fizz lost this game. It's the fact that I wanted him to use more common sense substitutions. Now, I know that the point is he wants to try out different lineups and just all this other stuff. But look, if you got a wave going on, ride the wave. And it's just, you knew that Frank, Frank came out of the first half, right? He had 15 points, and he's starting to get going a little bit in the third quarter too. Let it ride out for a bit and see what happens. But he took him out with 7 minutes left, and I was like, all right, whatever. Maybe he was hurt or something, and he wasn't hurt. He was stretching out for a bit. Burke was there. Burke was all right. I don't really have too much bad to say about most of the players, but he was okay. And they started chipping the lead down. So I thought, okay, maybe it's a close game. Why don't you bring Frank in? But Fizz left the second unit in there all by themselves. He didn't, no staggering or nothing. And then the Warriors come out with three of their starters. They start getting warm, and then Durant gets hot, and he's on fire. And all I'm saying is, okay, you probably would have still lost by 20, but at least lose with your best players on the floor. And it's just that he just didn't seem to be aware of it, or maybe he just doesn't care. It's just negligent. It's just, I just don't get it. Like, why ruin 3 quarters of a great game with just being dumb this last quarter? I don't, it just baffles me. I don't get it.
Yeah. And I feel like, Fizz got to a point in the fourth quarter. Trey Burke was hot. He didn't want to take Trey Burke out because Trey Burke was hot. For whatever reason, he didn't want to take Tim Hardaway out the game, who had a couple of stretches but was never hot. Right? Tim Hardaway was throughout the game was shooting a low percentage, shooting his average, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, right? Like Tim Hardaway Jr., right? He played the entire third quarter. Fine, okay, he played the entire third quarter. But like the point of then is like, why sit someone like Frank and why sit Dot in a sense? Why sit him 12 straight minutes?
Right.
Because when they come back in the game, they're going to be cold. So it just makes no sense. And especially like if you're in a very close game with the Warriors, at least give it your best shot. See what happens. Maybe you can try to make something going on. You might be able to keep the game really close, even if it's like with 4 or 3 minutes left. But now, because you didn't do that, the game just kind of got out of mess with 8 or 7 minutes left, and you're just done then.
Yeah. Let's see what you talk about, Isaiah. Isaiah, what's popping, man?
Popping, Sim. You know what? I'm proud of Troy Flint. I'm going to shout out to Troy Flint. He did not hate on Frank. I'm proud of him. I'm always hard on him, but I'm proud of him. He didn't hate on Troy. He tried. Shout out to Troy, man. He didn't hate on Frank tonight. But I just wanted to say, I wanted to go second because I wanted to piggyback what Vic was saying. And I'm blaming this on Fizz because we didn't lose the right way. Now, I know the Prince and a lot of people don't accept what I say by saying we didn't. We lost the wrong way. Fizz substitution, that was almost like Jeff Hornacek because that was just terrible. And Frank is having his game. This is his game. He's playing great. He's scoring. He's giving the hockey assist. I knew we were gonna give up this lead when I seen Cantor, Tim, Trey, and Mario on the lineup. I knew we were gonna give it up because that was Trier. That was a horrible defensive lineup. I don't know what they were doing. I was really questioning when was Frank gonna come in and when was not gonna come in. I'm not mad about Kevin Durant. He's an MVP. That's literally what he does. He's probably the greatest scorer we ever seen. He's really going to be probably the greatest scorer we ever seen. He's 7 feet tall, plays like a point guard, scores from anywhere. That's just him.
Yeah,
I'm just mad we lost the wrong way. Frank should have been in the game. This is on Fizz with the substitutions. The substitution was horrible. Towards the end of the third and the fourth, that were just horrible.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, we probably weren't gonna pull the game out. Kevin Durant got hot, but also there's things you can do. Maybe you're not gonna stop Kevin Durant from getting hot, but you maybe can slow things down a little bit by taking good shots, by not taking these wild shots, and then all of a sudden the offense just gets so discombobulated that you can't do anything. And now all of your momentum is out the door. Your chemistry is out the door. And then you try to come in with guys that can reestablish it, and it's done because you've let the other team get into a flow, get into a rhythm, get comfortable on the floor. They were probably going to get comfortable anyway, right? But the game didn't have to get the way it did. Like you said, we lost the wrong way. You know what I mean? We lost the wrong way. We didn't finish strong. That's all we want. We're playing the Warriors. Finish strong. If you're gonna lose, you lose. But finish strong. You know what I'm saying? Finish strong. Don't not what we did tonight. Guemo?
Yeah, man. Just to piggyback, man. Hopefully this doesn't hurt some people in the chat, but I like strategy, bro. When you play, and I'll tell you some football really quickly. One of the ways, old school ways to beat Tom Brady, and it's not necessarily on defense, it's on offense. I stop him from getting possessions. I chew up as much clock as possible. Mm-hmm. When the Knicks had that third quarter squad, because I started watching from the second half. So the first half, obviously, we were tied or whatever, right? But the third quarter, what I saw was beautiful. You had a beautiful lineup of guys who complemented each other, right? You had Tim Hardaway there as your main scorer. That's fine. I don't really like him. But when he played with Frank and he played with Dotson, he played with Vonleh and Mitchell, there was discipline. There was the front court never looked at it as like, I got to get mine, I got to put the basket. Even when Cantor was there, when they played from inside out, discipline. Hey, Cantor's double team, we pass to the open guy, we switch it around. Cantor's not double team, I keep driving in time until a guy commits on me. What I saw today was all on Fizdale, bro. You don't bring in a squad. People want to talk about, you try hard. What's this guy's name? Durant, Baba. You know how Durant got his head start? Every time he had a bad possession or missed shot, he was literally just coming out and driving. You know how you make Durant work for his shots? You take smarter shots and you have a point guard that can at least harass him up top and then switch off to a big man like a Vonleh or Mitchell who could at least guard him and move their hips once he gets into the paint or once he gets into the painted area. The thing that we did bad, you took out Frank, you took out Dotson, the guys that at the very least can stop their backcourt from getting to Durant in opportune positions, from stopping from getting to Durant in fast breaks. This is all on Fizdale. People want to talk about you have to work hard. Man, stop all that BS, man. Some of you guys do not watch basketball. Some of you guys don't study basketball. I do because I love the sport. You guys want to talk all this try hard? When I look at a guy like Burke, when I see him doing all this dribble driving, trying to put it behind his back, losing the ball in possession, now it's 5 seconds left on the clock, and he's going to throw up the ball. Those are bad possessions. Go back to the third quarter where you saw good rotations. You saw no wasted dribbles with that team. That's what Fizdale needs to do. All this stuff about I got to put in why would I put in Trier, Burke, and Tim Hardaway Jr.? I have no complement in my backcourt. I have no defense in my backcourt. And when Kanter was getting abused by Durant, that's when you take him out. He's not OKC, who's not even a good defensive team. They used to take him out for Adams because they knew this guy's not good on defense. Why don't we pick up these things, man? It's like, don't get me wrong, Fizdale's learning with the new team, but it's like he's going halfway. It's like it's too slow. But I understand it's early in the season, so I'm going to give him time. But this was a bad showing on Fizdale. This loss is on Fizdale, bro. And you took out Frank because you don't trust him, even though Frank was killing it on the court. When he had that up and under on who it was, that I'm giving you, Frank. I'm saying, Frank, I'm going to give you 1 minute of rest. I need you back in that game. Lead this team to victory, bro, or at least to a good loss. Come on, man.
There you go. I don't know if anybody can stay it much better, man. I don't know if anyone can state it much better. I'm going to come over here to Polo. Polo, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, Sam?
Glad to see you in the chat. Yeah.
This is my first time on the video chat.
Yeah, man. Glad to see you. Glad you joined us, man. So
no doubt. First thing I got to say is KD was on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't know what we could have done to stop him, but that man was going bananas. That's all I have to say. Next thing is that that first run they had, and we called the timeout, and he brought back the same squad. That's when I knew the game was over.
Right.
Because I'm like, why are you bringing back the same squad? KD is warming up. He's warming up. We need to put somebody on him. Just to slow him down. That's all. Just to slow him down.
Right.
But then I'm like, then when he gets on fire, you want to bring in the other squad when we're down 14 points?
14.
Make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
That made absolutely no sense. Then of course, Tim Hardaway shooting shots. That's not gonna. I don't know. All I have to say is this: we were doing good for 3.5 quarters.
3.5 quarters. 3.5 quarters.
Burke over dribbling for what reason? I don't know. I ain't gonna front. He did hit those 2 3-pointers, timely 3-pointers, which was good. But after a while, when you started seeing him dribbling over dribbling, you should have sat him down and brought in Frank just to, slow the pace down, to calm everything down, and just try and weather the storm. But to tell you the truth, I'm not sure if we would have won because, like I said, KD was on fire. That's all I have to say.
And listen, we
could blame Fizdale or whatever, but if we would have brought back the right squad in, not sure if anybody could have stopped KD. Then on top of that, they had a 6'8" point guard. They had Iguodala running point. Yeah. He was the shortest guy on their squad, and we still had Burke out there. We still had people under 6'6". I don't understand, man.
And
honestly,
it's not even about.
I was gassed. I was like, we got this game. Then all of a sudden, it's just a combination of both. That's all I could say. I can't really put a blame on anybody, but like I said, this is a combination of both because I don't know what to say, man.
Yeah, and it's part of, even if, like you said, we probably wouldn't have stopped Durant, and they probably still would have won the game. But it's about good practice, right? Good practice. Yeah. Making those right decisions so that when we do get into a game that we can win and that we should win, you have good practice and you can make those right decisions we just didn't do it. You got to be able to recognize. You're the coach. You got to be able to see. Okay, Trey Burke is about to start. Dribbling too much, over dribbling. Either call him over and talk to him, or get him out the game and make the substitution. Tim Hardaway Jr. is really not hitting. He's taking wild shots. Let's see if we can. Let's bring somebody else in here and let's do something different. That starting lineup did not play together in the fourth quarter.
Nah.
Right, like the game got out of hand, and then they started, making whatever subs. It's like he lost in the fourth quarter when one of your bench players got hot. He wasn't sure what to do. Right, Trey Burke. I know Trey Burke wasn't hot, super hot, but he hit a few shots in a row. He wasn't sure what to do, where to go. I have questions. I'm gonna get to Ant, but I have a big question about Tim Hardaway and David Fizdale. I just want to know, why will he not coach? At least I haven't seen it. Why will he not coach Tim Hardaway Jr.? Right, but Ant, why don't you just give us your take on the game, and then I want to talk about Tim Hardaway and why, to me, it just seems like David Fizdale is not coaching Tim Hardaway, or he's not holding him accountable. But go ahead, Ant.
Listen, I just got finished, a couple weeks ago watching the Yankees, get bounced in the playoffs. And one of the big things was Aaron Boone, he kept leaving the relievers or starting pitchers in the game too long when they were struggling. Mm-hmm. And it's the same problem that Fizz is having. It reminds me of that, like, okay, if Burke and those guys had a good 4-minute spurt, right, but you see them falling into these bad traits, you have to know when to pull the plug. You have to. And I feel like he has a struggle pulling the plug with everybody but Frank. And it's frustrating because he pulls the plug on Frank. If Frank has a bad couple possessions or Frank has a bad quarter, he don't mind sitting Frank the rest of the game. But when guys like Hardaway are bumming out, or when Trier's not having a great game, or when Burke has Enes Kanter has a 3-minute stretch where he just playing like he's never played basketball before, he sticks with these guys.
Yeah. And
I don't want to accuse Fizdale of it, but from the outside looking in, it can be easily mistaken for favoritism, right? Because when you don't treat these players the same way, like it's what did Frank have to do tonight to not get sat 12 minutes straight?
Right.
Like, I'm not saying he should have took Trey Burke out, because Trey Burke was balling in that third quarter.
Yeah,
right.
He was hooping in the third quarter.
There's no way Frank should have been sitting for 12 minutes. There's no reason for it. And, I don't think that would have been done to Tim Hardaway. And I just don't think it would have been done to him. I don't even blame the loss on Timmy. Timmy was Timmy, right? And he's going to be who he is, right? But Fizdale just has to learn, when and how to pull the plug and how to use his players. You can't leave him in there for too long. He rides it out for too long, and then we end up messed up. And I think, to answer your Tim Hardaway question, I'm telling you, I said it last show, it's the Hardaway Sr. effect. I feel like David Fizdale, his Miami roots, his Miami connections,
right.
Scott Perry, Steve Mills, and Hardaway Sr. are buddy-buddy. And I feel like Timmy has just built up cachet with these guys for whatever reason that he hasn't earned on the basketball court. And we're treating him like he's a Kevin Durant type player. We're treating him like he's Melo. Like when Melo got some of this treatment, I got it, because Melo had proved it on the court. He had kind of built up some of this deserved cachet. Even when he was wrong, you kind of say, you know what? But it's Melo.
Right. That's
right. But with Tim Hardaway Jr., he's not that guy. And we shouldn't be slaving or making our team slave to his mistakes for a guy like Tim Hardaway Jr. If he's struggling, take him out the game. He's not that good.
Right.
So I hope to see a change. Fizdale, I think if he wants to take full control of this team, Hardaway is the guy he needs to get in control.
I agree. And so I just want to get into it, and I'm going to come. If you want to call in, give me a call. 516-405-2246. Let's talk about it. I want to know what you think about Hardaway and the coach, and why it seems like Coach Fizdale is not holding Hardaway accountable. Anyone else can be held accountable, but it doesn't seem like Hardaway is being held accountable. Hardaway takes some of the wildest shots that you will ever see on this squad. I've seen Wilder, but on this squad, he takes some of the wildest shots. And he never gets taken out. Hardaway played 35 minutes tonight. 34 maybe, I think it was. Right? 34 minutes for Tim Hardaway Jr. tonight. And he shot 42.9%. And let's put it, to compare, of course, Frank Ntilikina, who was your starting point guard, who on every other night has played 31, 33, 35 minutes. Tonight played 25. On his maybe the best game or one of the best games of his young career. Right? The best game of his career, and he plays 35 minutes. At least offensively, the best game of his career. Let's say that. I mean, and he plays 25 minutes. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. It doesn't calculate. The kid had 13 points in the first half. In the third quarter, I think he played 4 minutes in the third quarter or something like that. 4 or 5 minutes in the third quarter, and he had 4 points in the third quarter. He was playing well. He's playing one of his best games. There's no reason to take him out or keep him sat for that long, sit him for that long. But Tim Hardaway, was pulling shots. I mean, listen, Tim Hardaway had some nice plays, some nice drives to the basket, especially the end of that second quarter. He did some good things, but Tim Hardaway is going to do Tim Hardaway things. And I think, listen, I get it. You know what you have in Tim Hardaway. And if he's going to do it, he's going to do it. But hold him accountable for it anyway. Right? Because you have a guy in Dotson who is proving that he can shoot the ball. Right? Who is proving that he can rebound the basketball, which is something that we desperately need. Now, Tim Hardaway did have 3-4 assists tonight, which is obviously something that we need. But defensively, he kills us. He does not play defense. Defense is horrible. Shoots a low percentage, and it's not going to change. I don't care. Anyone that's in the chat that defends Tim Hardaway, wants to defend Tim Hardaway, this is him. His shot percentage is not going to change. It's not. This is how he plays. This is how he shoots. He's a 6th man. He is a 6th man, and we need to treat him like one. That's my opinion. We need to treat him like one because he's a 6th man. His long-term future in this league is to be a 6th man. That's in my opinion. That's what he's going to end up being. We need to hold him accountable. Coach Fizdale needs to hold him accountable. But I'm telling you, what Ant said is right. What I've seen some people in the chat say is right. His ties with David Fizdale are pretty deep from the time he was a little kid. Right? When David Fizdale was coaching for Miami, Tim Hardaway Sr. was there. And Tim Hardaway's running around. Tim Hardaway Jr. is running around on the Miami Heat floor, shooting up shots and doing all kinds of stuff. Fizdale knows him from that time. So he's giving him a little bit more leniency, and it's the wrong move. Because other players will begin to notice. And when those players begin to notice that Tim Hardaway is getting different treatment than anyone else on the floor, and listen, they probably already noticed. It just hasn't come out yet. You know what I mean? It just hasn't come out yet. But Tim Hardaway, I mean, they got the little crew. When we were at the opening night kickoff, and we were courtside, and Tim Hardaway Jr. was sitting there with Scott Perry, Steve Mills, and they were just having a good time. It's like a bunch of buddies who hadn't seen each other in a while, sitting at a bar having a drink. That's what it looked like, except they were on the court, just chopping it up for about 20 minutes. And listen, I know NBA guys, they know each other and they talk to each other all throughout the league. But, you got to hold Tim Hardaway Jr. accountable. If not, you're going to lose the team. you're gonna lose the team real fast, because Tim Hardaway, he does. I don't know, man. The dude, yeah, I don't know. And you know what? I can't even blame Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway is gonna play his game. I get it. If Tim Hardaway's gonna play his game, but hold him accountable for not doing the things that you want him to do. Hold him accountable for not representing the style of play that you want to represent on the floor. Hold him accountable for not putting out the defensive effort that you say you want to play with. I will live with the 43% shooting. I'll live with it if he's going to put it down on the defensive side of the floor and learn to control himself. Tonight he got out of control with some of his shots. It was wild. It ended up being okay because we got back in the game in the first half and tied up the score and all that good stuff. So it ended up being okay. But it doesn't erase it. It doesn't overlook it. You know what I mean? Coach Fizz, you got to get at Hardaway. You got to get at Hardaway. You're going to lose a squad. You know what I mean? You're going to lose a squad. Emmanuel, see, I do read comments. I just, when I choose to comment, I'll comment. When I don't, I don't. Just, that's how it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't be at 20 places at one time. Let me get to a phone call. Call you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's going on, sir? We're talking about, this is Efosa. I called last week. We talking about Hardaway?
We talking about Hardaway, man. And, just asking why, trying to figure out why Coach Fizdale is not holding him accountable like he holds everyone else accountable.
Honestly, G, and you said best. This reeks of nepotism, and this is based off. Tim Hardaway has done nothing in this league as of yet. Yeah, he's improved a little bit, but he's taking wild shots. His defense is suspect. Mm-hmm. I don't get what the hell. I'm sorry. I don't get what he's trying to prove out here. Tim Hardaway is best off curls, off motion, off when he does not have the ball in his hands. When he's getting set up by Frank or doing running pick and roll. I'm just tired of seeing him taking crazy shots, and I'm tired of Fizdale not disciplining him. Making this Knox. I wish Knox was here tonight, and we could. But yeah, Tim Hardaway needs to come off the bench.
Yeah, and let me. I see Emmanuel C. And I see the reason why he said I didn't read the comments. I missed that one, but he asked, what if Fizdale is trying to avoid the kind of conflict that he had in Memphis with Tim Hardaway? That's a good, that's a good point, and it's a good question. But I think that Coach Fizdale had the right idea when he was in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? I think he had the right idea when he was in Memphis. If he has a style of play, if he has a structure, if he has a system, if he has a culture, you got to hold everyone accountable. And no matter if it's your star player or the 17th player on the bench, you got to hold everyone to the same standard. And if that's what happened with Marc Gasol, he was holding them to a certain standard, then you hold them to that standard. And you got to do the same thing with Timmy. You got to hold Timmy. You got to hold Timmy to that standard. And living our dreams and saying that Timmy is not Mark. Exactly. You're right. He is not Marc Gasol. You know what I'm saying? So he's not Marc Gasol at all. Timmy, people are saying, I see in the chat, people say, they're treating him like he's our star power, and they are, but he's not a star. Timmy is not a star. He is a talented guy. Famo said he's very talented. He is talented. He's got some ability. He's got athletic ability. Right? But he has holes in his game, and he's not a star, and he needs to be held accountable. That's all I'm asking, is to hold him accountable. If he's not playing well, take him out the game. That's it.
Tim is a weapon. A tool. He needs to be used and utilized in the right situations. He's not a person to go off on his own and just with no sense of control from the coach or from anyone else. He needs to be tempered, and he needs to be held accountable for his actions. I'm tired of him just being reckless.
Yeah.
He could be a better player if, he's getting disciplined and controlled.
Yeah. And that's exactly, that's good. That's a good word. Reckless. He's reckless. He can be, there are times, and, a couple of streams ago, I talked about how he played efficient because he played a couple of efficient games. At the end of the preseason, the beginning of the season, he played a couple of efficient games. And I was like, if he can continue to do this, then, I can live with a couple of bad, crazy shots here and there. But but I knew in the back of my mind, and everyone was saying to me, look, we'll see. We'll see if he can, but it's just in his DNA to do this. And it just bothers me, man. It bothers me because it's going to ruin the culture that we're trying to build, I think, if Fizz lets it go.
That's my respect for Frank. The way he plays the right way. Everything is controlled. He listened to the coach, and then, as you see, as his confidence built up, he started to take more shots. He started to he was getting his teammates involved from jump. Mm-hmm. Tim Hardaway could do something like that. I like when Tim Hardaway is playing with Frank because Frank gets him right, gets him controlled. When that starting lineup, perfect. But I don't want to diverge from what we're already talking about, though.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate your call. Appreciate the call. I know that I've seen a lot of people trying to call in, so I'm going to get to these calls, man. All right?
Is it okay if I jump in the chat?
Yeah, for sure. Jump in. Jump in.
All right, cool. I'm going to do that. Thanks,
cool.
Man.
All right, peace. Yeah, and, one thing that Ant also brought up is that Frank, Coach Fizdale will be quick to snatch Frank. Not just Frank. Damian Dotson. Quick to snatch Damian Dotson, Mitchell Robinson. You know why? Frank Ntilikina, Damian Dotson. Those guys, they're not going to, if you take Frank out, he's not going to make a face when he's walking off the floor. Right? He's just going to come out because the coach asked him to come out the game. When he's sitting on the end of the bench, now, obviously I can't hear what Timmy is saying. If he's saying anything, he may not be saying anything. I don't know. But Frank's not going to grumble and mumble and make noise at the end of the bench. When his number is called, he's going to get up and go in. Damian Dotson's the same way. They're going to play basketball and they're going to do what's asked of the coach. That hurts you sometimes. It does. Because sometimes you want those guys to take chances. But as they get, usually those type of players, as they get more comfortable, they're not afraid to take chances. Right? They're not afraid. But see, guys like Timmy and even Trey Burke sometimes, you see the body language. Right? You see him pout. You see the brattiness. Especially in Timmy. And I know I'm smacking Timmy around. I don't care. Especially in Timmy. You see the brattiness. Right? And a player like Frank, Damian Dotson, they're not going to give any flack to the coach. Right? They're not going to have that kind of body language. So it's easy to pull those guys out. Right? Because, you're not worried about those guys making a comment or saying something or whatever it is. It's easy to pull those guys out. All right, come on, Frank. And Frank's just going to do it. Come on, Damian. He's just going to do it. Come on, Timmy. And Timmy gives you a look. Or walks past you huffing and puffing. And that's why it's easy to snatch those guys out and not Timmy. But he's got to do it. He's got to snatch Timmy out. I just want to see him snatch Timmy out and chew him out with Tim Hardaway Sr. there. And then look at Tim Hardaway Sr. like, what? I just chewed your son out. Issue? That's how you got to do it sometimes. Call you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
It was great, Sam. This Ant Lux again.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, I'm hearing it was a horrible game. I kind of looked at the stats. Your boy Timmy is not great at all, man. He's like a poor man's J.R. Smith right now. You feel what I'm saying? And it's weird because I don't know how Tim Hardaway Sr. has a relationship with the Knicks like that. When back in the day, they used to rival like a mother. Oh, my bad for cursing, but they used to rival real bad. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And
so I understand it. But he's so inefficient, it's like a shame. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, I don't know.
Fizdale, to me, that experiment, because I always wanted them to hire either Patrick Ewing or Mark Jackson. You feel what I'm saying? Because they have more of the grit of New York, that bad boy thing that we need back. They can actually teach it because they was in the era. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And Fizdale, to me, seems like he's too buddy and chummy with these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like trying to clean up what he did in Memphis. You get what I'm saying? He's trying to play that good role, that character where I'm not going to be hard on the guys. Yeah, but he needs to put Tim in his place. You feel what I'm saying?
He does. And I think, the reason why Tim Hardaway Sr. now has this relationship with the Knicks is, one, obviously Tim Hardaway is playing there. Tim Hardaway Sr. is no longer coaching. And then I'm sure he has a relationship with David Fizdale because of the whole Miami connection. So
Right.
He has this relationship.
I think that whole thing is something, man. That's like some block joint, and the way he was shooting tonight, I'm surprised there ain't no new project in the middle of a garden right now because he was shooting horribly. 9 for 21, 4 for 12 from 3. Like he's jacking shots like he's a maniac, man.
Yeah, I mean he was pulling shots, man, from 30 feet away or something.
Right, because he watching Golden State, he just like Mr. Me Too. Like I can do that too, but no, you're not even half of them guys. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's Me says Tim has the greenest light in the league. Yeah, Tim has a shamrock color green light. I mean, his joint is green. He might as well be Irish. Like Timmy might as well be Irish right now. You know what I'm saying? His light is so green. Yeah, hey man, I appreciate the call, man. I'm gonna get on.
Hey, thank you very much, Tim. I'm gonna keep watching. Get back to the thing. Shout out to the chat and everybody else. See you later.
Right, definitely. Peace, man. Yeah, let's get to the chat and see what the chat's thinking. See what they're talking about. We got Ifosa. Hopefully I said his name right. Just joined into the chat. Let me see who I'm gonna get around to.
I would have had a guy harass him.
Never mind.
From the.
Yep, Grandma is going off on something, so I will get to Viv, and then I'm gonna come to you, Isaiah. Viv, man, what do you think? What's up with this Tim Hardaway thing? Why will Fizdale not hold him accountable, or is he holding him accountable?
Because we don't hold him accountable, and maybe we need to pressure the beat before and after every game to start asking him, corner Fizz into this question. Can you hold? Why are you not? Calling out Tim, or are you being forced to play Tim? Like basically like interrogate him and put him in a corner, and if Fizz doesn't respond, then you realize it's all about politics. So like it's I don't get why it is. Maybe Mills or Perry are telling Fizz that you got to play Tim. I don't get it, but I mean, until then, I'm equally as lost and frustrated. Like there was that one moment, right? You saw it, right, when Fizz was like, frustrated and yelling at people. What I didn't get is like, why was he yelling at? He was just yelling at Rooks, and he was yelling at like Vonleh. Those are easy targets. Easy. But put that energy into Timmy and Burke, and they're soft targets. Put them into Timmy, Burke, Cantor. Those are targets that make more of a difference. Don't just yell like the rookies and stuff. The guys who just don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yell at the targets that are, gonna actually make a difference. And then the other players gonna be like, they're getting called out too. So everyone's in a fair game. So it's like, maybe they should just. The problem is like the beat don't look at the game that we do. Like they look at it as like they get like a participation trophy after every single game. Like you don't get a participation trophy after every loss. You gotta like. Ask these tough questions. Like,
got to.
Unless they're not watching the game that we're watching, just press them on it. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I may just have to do a video about it.
Yeah, I would. And then I would just like, and then maybe the next time we see Steve Mills or something in like one of these suites, maybe we'll just ask that question.
Yeah, right. We'll just ask, hey, yeah, exactly.
Stop this politic and nonsense. I don't want to see Tim Hardaway Sr. Yeah, I think we've had enough of Tim Hardaway Sr. This is not the once a Knick, only a Knick. You're not a Knick, Tim Hardaway Sr.
Exactly. Right.
There's no reason for you to be, getting all these like perks and just chilling with the front office. You don't have any, you don't have any clout. If you want to get that clout, maybe you should tell your son to play more like you.
Right. And big shout out to shout out to Elijah Moon, but Elijah, man, thank you for the super chat. But I gotta disagree with you, bro. He said Timmy kept us in the game. No, he didn't. He didn't keep us in the game. Yeah, I gotta disagree with you, man.
It's a more like he didn't hurt us, but he didn't really keep. It's not. But the whole thing is right. This is my thing, right? Why are you playing more like what's the point of the deep threes? Everyone and anybody knows that you don't know how to shoot 30-foot threes. You're not Steph Curry. You're not Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I still think.
Why are you about what gives you that idea in your head to shoot 30?
I still think that was something that David Fizdale told them to do. I've told players before, like if a team comes back and they're in the 2-3 zone, just pull it up from wherever you are. Make them respect it. Make them scared. Make them, make them think a little bit. But
I actually did hear that. I don't know if you mentioned it. I heard it on the TV. I think someone on MSG mentioned they're shooting these on design or something. Because it's like you got to give them some. You got to have someone respect your shot in a sense.
Yeah, but
some of these threes have made no sense.
Exactly. Some of them make no sense, and they got to do something. Has to happen. Something just has to happen, because if not, when you're only yelling at the young players, and then you look at Tim Hardaway Jr., who may not even be better than some of these younger guys. And he's getting away. No one
deserves to have an ego on the team. No one's in that position.
Right. Yeah, and he's getting away with, all the stuff that he's getting away with defensively, and low field goal percentage, and young guys look at that, and it sets a. It's bad. It's bad because now they feel like they can follow. They can be that. Right, that they can do wrong and get away with it, or if they see that they can't get away with it, now they hold resentment towards Hardaway. They lose some respect for the coach. I don't know, man. I don't know. Isaiah, go ahead, man. It's on you, bro.
Hey, I know one thing, man. Timmy must got some nudes from David Fizdale back in '99. He gotta have something where he don't get yelled at. I don't know, man. He gotta have some news from '99. Yeah, I don't know, man, because this dude don't get never. He yelled at me before he yelled at Tim Hardaway.
All right.
This joke is crazy, man. Listen, listen. It's seriously, man. This is getting. I'm getting scared. I'm a big black man. I don't like getting scared, and I'm scared that this is the one guy he doesn't yell at, and it's like, bro, I don't know if nobody saw it, but when Tim shot a bad shot, I seen Fizdale clap. He made the face like he wants to yell at him. I don't know if anybody peeped that when Tim shot it. He made a face and he clapped. Like he made that face was like, oh, I want it. I want.
I had to go back and check.
Yo, bro, you out of pocket.
I got the game recorded, so I'm gonna have to go back and check it.
Yo, you out of pocket, bro. He just said some Ray J crazy stuff right there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we won't inhale that.
But nah, but it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, I seen you yell at Kevin Knox, good job. I seen you yell at Frank, good job. I seen you yell at you yelling at the rookies, bro. Keep the same energy. Yell at Cantor, yell at Trey. Yeah, we need you to yell at Tim, because you keep taking these shots, bro. And it's like, all right, and like you said, Tim, we know what he is. We know what Tim Hardaway is gonna be. He's gonna be this way until he's 35, 38. And what really sucks though. It sucks that this is Steve Mills' worst mistake, and Ron Baker. And I wish he would have signed Scott Perry before he did the Tim Hardaway deal, because it's literally been crap. It's been crap We're not going to get better with Tim. We might as well, hopefully, after this year, because nobody's going to trade for him. After next year, we could trade him to like the Kings or something, or the Hawks. Because it's just like, this is just getting to the point where it's getting sad, and it's like this kid. It's so funny. He played good under Bud because Bud didn't play that shit. I mean, play that spit. He didn't play that. Bud didn't play that, and that's why Tim had his statistically best season.
Well, Tim needs to be disciplined, and that's just what it is. He needs to be disciplined. Let me get to the caller. Tony Crow, what's popping, bro?
What's going on, Sam? Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black, it's time.
I'm chilling, man.
We're still talking about Timmy, I see.
I'm about to get off that topic because it's making me mad, but, I'll let you get your last word in on it.
Well, I mean, I had these sentiments even before the season started, but I still see some improvement in him. I'm not going to give up on him 100%. I think a lot of it does fall on Fizdale. It was still early, so I wouldn't harp. Give us like 5 more games or something. Let's see where it is now. I think with Dotson playing well, I think that should either one light a fire under Timmy, and two give Fizz an option. Because I think before he started, getting in the rotation, we didn't really have a suitable two-man in this place.
But see that's where I think that's why I think that Fizdale has to hold Timmy accountable in order for Dotson's play to be a threat to Timmy. Fizdale has to hold him accountable, because if Fizdale isn't holding him accountable, then Dotson's play is not going to be a threat, because then he's not worried about it. You know what I mean? In order for Dotson's play to really be a threat to Timmy, he's got to hold him accountable. He's got to take him out and put Dotson in.
I agree. I agree with you. But I'm just saying, it's only been 3-4 games that Dotson has played.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So give it some time. Dotson started playing now. He's playing well. I think it's not going to be a problem for Fizz to sit him. Now,
I hope not.
The yelling at him and all that, that might not happen. But he'll definitely sit him if Dotson's playing well and he's in that 2 spot.
Yeah, I hope so.
I did have a lot of problems with his rotation today. I think Frank sat way too long. I'm gonna defend Frank today, guys. I think Burke definitely was forcing some stuff. So I didn't even understand why Burke was in as long as he was, as well as Frank was playing.
Right. I know, Burke had his little hot stretch there in the third quarter. But as soon as he's seen Burke begin to, really start to pound the ball and hold the rock, that's when something needed to happen. You know what I mean?
What I will say is, it was about 4 or 5 possessions. I think he waited too long before putting Frank in.
Yeah.
But that's all it takes with the Warriors. So
that's all it takes. That's it. That's all it takes.
4 or 5 possessions against them. That might be 20 points.
Right. Exactly. Hey, Tony, stay on the line, man. I'm gonna go over these quick. We're gonna review the keys of the game and see if we executed these things. All right. Something new that I'm trying out. So we can just look back and look back at the pregame and talk about if we actually did these things. All right. Okay. Our keys to success to win the game, or not even to win, but just to be competitive. Right. Our keys to success to be competitive was to have a strong start, capitalize on turnovers, defend the 3, no third quarter collapse, and then of course fourth quarter execution. So did we do it? Did we have a strong start? Yeah, I think we had a strong start to the game. The first quarter was 24-24, I think it was, something like that. So, did we have a strong start? Check. I put a check next to a strong start. Right? We had a strong start. Did we capitalize off of turnovers? I think in the first half we capitalized off of turnovers. We actually capitalized off of turnovers all the way into, about halfway through the fourth quarter. That's when things started to fall apart for us. What do you think, Tony? You think we capitalized on
I agree. About 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes left, it was a wrap. But prior to that, I think we played great defense. Again, I think it falls on that substitution, that rotation pattern.
Yep.
It kind of killed us.
Right.
It really killed us.
Yep. So I give that a check. We did that. Defended 3. We for a little while we did okay. Yeah. Right? We did okay for a little while. Steph Curry got a couple open threes. That was on Frank. In that first quarter, that was on Frank. He let him get open a couple of times. For the most part, I thought Frank did a decent job with Curry. You seen him chasing him around. He made it tough for Curry to get the ball. I remember one time in the third quarter, Curry was trying to get the ball. Frank was denying him. He was with him every step of the way, and Curry couldn't get the ball. So Durant just took it himself and knocked it down. But Curry couldn't get the rock, and that was I'm okay with the defense he played on it because Curry's going to get his regardless. But did we defend the 3 well? The Warriors ended up shooting 48% from 3. So I got to say, no, we did not defend the 3. I got to get that a thumbs down. Thumbs down because, they shot 48% from us. And a lot of that was because Durant got smoking hot, too. And,
Yeah, I think I still give it a check just because that all came in the fourth. Like prior to the fourth, we was actually defending the 3 well.
I took a look at it. By halftime, it was 38%. They were shooting 38% from 3, and I was like, okay, maybe. But then all of a sudden, and I guess it had to do with Durant, but I'm giving it thumbs down just because of the percentage. Just because of the percentage. No third quarter collapse. We won the third quarter. We came out, we played very well in the third quarter. That's a check. That's a check mark. Fourth quarter execution. What more can we say? We know what this is, right? We gave up 47 points. 47 points in the fourth quarter. We gave up 45 points in the third quarter against Miami. We gave up 47 points in the fourth quarter against Golden State. You're not going to be successful against any team if you are giving up. If you're giving up over 30 points in a quarter, that's a lot of points. If you're giving up over 45 points in a quarter, that's nuts, man. And
that'll potentially lose you in any game.
Any game.
It don't have to be 4 quarters of that. It could be 1 quarter of that, and that'll lose you the game right there.
Dude, we could have been up 20 tonight. We could have been up 20. And if we gave up 47 points in that, like we did in the fourth quarter, we would have lost because we were outscored 47-16 in that fourth quarter tonight. So obviously, fourth quarter execution is a thumbs down. You know what I mean? We had keys to success. 3 out of the 5 keys to success we were successful in. Strong start, capitalize on turnovers, no third quarter collapse. But defending the 3 in the fourth quarter execution were crucial. Those were crucial, and especially that fourth quarter execution. It was crucial. And listen, we could have defended the 3 and had fourth quarter execution and still lost the game by 10 to this team. But at least we would have been in the game, coming down the stretch. But because of especially that fourth quarter execution, which included not defending the 3, giving up threes. You see what happened. We go from a tie game to a 28-point loss. 28-point loss. I was so surprised. Because at some point I kind of zoned. I was watching the game, but I wasn't really watching the score. Then when I went back and looked at the box score, I was like, "Damn, it was a 28-point game." But that's crazy. So three out of the 5 keys, man. Yeah, I mean, three out of the 5 keys we had, but we got to, we got to execute in the fourth. Got to execute in the fourth, man. So, that's kind of the game right there, Tony.
Nah, I agree 100%. But just to cheer things up a little bit, let me ask you, aren't you still like super encouraged and like it's like the losses don't even feel the same? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think we're better defensively. Mm-hmm. I've seen some great things defensive. We got to be like top 5 or something in the league in steals from just me watching the games, not even looking at stats anywhere. But we got to be up there in steals.
We're up there in steals.
We get a lot of steals. I think once Mitch Robinson is ready, and he's surprising me already. Like, he's more ready than I thought he was. I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be okay. I get frustrated. During the process is will be frustrating. What I get frustrated with is not really the losses. It's the building blocks that we miss out on. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking a lot about accountability and holding people accountable. That's a building block to me. And I feel like if you don't put those things in place early and hold everyone accountable early, then later on it's going to be too hard to go back and put it in place. Right now we're 10th in the league in steals, 7.8 steals per game. We were up there in the top 2 or 3. Okay.
Yeah, with the last couple of games we didn't get as many, so we are now down to 7.8. Our defensive rating after this game, I believe, let's see, our defensive rating after this game, I know we took a hit there, I could tell you that. We were 11th in the league. I'm pretty sure we took a pretty big hit in defensive rating after this game. So right now, we dropped all the way down to 18 with a defensive rating of 110.4. Yep.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yep, and we're probably last in the league in assists right now as well. That at least that's what I think. I'm gonna check it out right now, but I think we're probably, tonight we were already last in the league with 20 assists per game. Tonight we only had 17 assists, so I'm pretty sure that dropped us down to I'm sure that dropped us down to about averaging 18 assists per game or something. Right now we average 19.5 assists per game. That's where we are right now, 19.5 assists per game. Yeah,
we gotta get that up, like 7 more assists.
Yeah,
one last thing before I go, I gotta go to bed. But I'm looking forward to Courtney Lee returning. I think that'll also put some pressure on Timmy. I think it'll be an easier substitution for Fizz to make. Lee for Hardaway, even if it's a starting rotation. Obviously, that won't happen immediately, but because he's another good two-way player who plays his role. He's not gonna take shots outside the offense. I think that's going to be an easy. I think Fizz might have a problem. Obviously, he has a connection with Timmy, but I think it's also a age and seniority thing. You know what I mean? So I think he's giving him that kind of respect.
Yeah,
on this team, he might deserve it. I don't know if he does. Like you said, he's not a star, but
right.
I mean, for this team, he is the guy. Porzingis is not here.
I mean, I guess he's the, see my opinion with this team right now is we really don't have a guy because I don't know. I understand what you're saying. He gets. But, he's the one who's gonna get that kind of respect. I don't believe he deserves it at all. And I want one of the players to stand up, and that player would probably be Cantor, because Cantor's had more success in this league than Timmy.
I agree.
Right? He's had more success in this league than Timmy. He's been to the playoffs. He's been deep in the playoffs with OKC. Well, I don't want to say deep in the playoffs, but he's been, he used to be in the playoffs annually.
Yeah,
And
the only problem with Cantor is, like, they gonna it's the pot and the kettle black. They only gonna argue like the main problem with Timmy is his defense as well as Cantor. So
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why I think a guy like Lee is gonna be the perfect guy to do it. I mean, Lance could do it, but Lance's problem is he can't score a lick.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but I feel like with Cantor, the difference would be, in my opinion, with Cantor, is that he will at least accept his fault. I don't know if Timmy, like Timmy, like Cantor is Timmy is bratty. Cantor's not really bratty.
Yeah, he's the opposite.
You know what I mean?
He's gonna make a joke and, you know what I mean, laugh it off and be playful rather than, you know what I mean. He ain't gonna pout, that's for sure.
Yeah,
he'll show some anger, but he ain't gonna pout.
But somebody's got to
shout out to the chat. I gotta hang up soon.
All right, man.
Keep doing your thing. Yo, Black, it's time.
No,
I'll hit you up tomorrow.
All right, have a good weekend, man. If I don't speak to you, have a good weekend. But yeah, hit me up tomorrow.
No doubt, bro.
All right, later. All right, chat. I'm coming to you, man. We about to start talking about Brooklyn, because we on to the next one. We play Brooklyn Monday night, and we need to get one. I know people keep talking about, getting the first 3 picks and all this garbage. I want to win. I could care less about who's in the draft. Ant, what's popping, man? Ant, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, Sam?
We about coming down to the end of the show, man, and I just wanted to get, we're about to move into talking about Brooklyn a little bit. And what do you think we need to do? Brooklyn right now, Brooklyn is better than us right now. Clearly. What do we do? Can we and should we beat Brooklyn?
I think if we play the way we played tonight and the way we played against Milwaukee and the way we played against Boston, I think we should beat them. But we're the type of team that, so far what they've shown us is that we play down our comp right now. So I think it'll be a good game. I think we'll pull it out. But the things I think we need to do, like, specifically, is I think Frank needs to stay aggressive. He has to start again at point. We have to rebound the ball. And continue to move the ball. We get into these spells where we think we and one players, and like we hot sauce and like Professor, like we just start we get into these like spells. Isaiah, go throw it. Never mind, but so like we got to continue to move the ball. Start to move the ball, take smart shots, rebound the basketball, and stay in front of your man on defense. Right. And I think that we should come out with a victory, but I'm not saying that with confidence.
Yeah, I feel you. Ifosa, did I say your name right? Did I say your name right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. We played Brooklyn. I'm glad you joined us in the chat, my man. We play Brooklyn Monday night. Right now, let me see. Brooklyn, they lost tonight to New Orleans, to the Pelicans. They were actually had a lead. They didn't get blown out. They lost 117 to 115. They're 2-3 on the season. The Pelicans are 4-0. Brooklyn is clearly playing better than we are. They got 2 wins, and they will. Let me see. They play tonight. I do not believe they play on Sunday, and so we both get a couple of days of rest, and then we play Monday in Madison Square Garden. What's your take on the game? Will we get that game? Should we get that game?
I think we can definitely get that game. It depends on how we utilize Frank and Dotson and who Tim Hardaway's guarding. I would like both Frank and Dotson to be both on Russell and Chris rather than having Tim guard Chris. And in addition to that, we also have to have Fizz discipline and control the way Tim Hardaway's play. He can't be acting up like he was today.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Man, we need to get this win.
Yeah, we definitely need it.
If this Q, right? My man here with the white beater on.
Oh no, it's Dan.
Dan, that's right. I be forgetting sometimes, man. My bad. Give me a take on the Brooklyn game, man.
Well, these guys are clowning.
I know they're wilding out.
Let me put this guy on mute. So
put him on mute, cause.
But the Brooklyn game, right? I feel like what the guy said with the crown. I think as long as we play like how we've been playing these last few games, we should come out with a win. And I've been like my coach, the coach that I really wanted. I'm still upset that we didn't get that coach. I wanted Coach Bud. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
And why I wanted Coach Bud was because he was the only guy that got into Tim Hardaway's ear. I think Tim Hardaway did not sign with the Hawks for the reason that he knew that if he signed with the Hawks, he would have to be coached. Get what I mean?
Right.
That's why he ran away from that. He signed with the Knicks way too fast. Like when they signed that contract, I mean, we know it was $70 million, but he signed that so he could really get away. You know what I mean?
It's
my chance to get away. It's my chance to be me. I can do whatever I want.
The Hawks weren't going to match that. That's why the Knicks gave him that crazy amount of money. Well, and it's not crazy, but that's why they gave him that amount, because they knew the Hawks weren't going to match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get to go ahead. My bad.
It's okay, but I really wanted Coach Bud. I'm looking at Fizz. It's like, okay, you're known for that defensive intensity. Like, where's that at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
where is it where where's that Pat Riley that you got in you? Like, we need to see that.
Yeah, and we had been playing better defensively. At least we're playing hard. I will give us that. We're playing hard, but I still need Fizz to hold.
Another thing, what really pissed me off tonight, because we're so big on culture. You look at the Heat, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Heat, they don't have superstars. The last 2 years, they didn't have really like superstars, and they basically built. That team is a gritty, defensive team, and they'll do little things that take you out your game. Right. Tonight, we should never have players clowning us, throwing up 40-footers, when we're already getting killed by 20 points. That really pissed me off. I don't care. When players start showboating and they start doing that, you need to start throwing elbows. You need to do something to take them out the game,
I feel you.
And it's not to be dirty, but it's to show them that you're not gonna come up in here. You're not gonna come up in the Garden, acting a fool. We gotta bring that back.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me see what C-Dog is talking about, man. And you guys get ready after we go around this, we're gonna get your last words. And but yeah, C-Dog, what's up, man? The Brooklyn game. What's your thoughts on it?
They should win. If they play the same, he just got to do better with the substitution. Everything was going good until he came back in there with Timmy and Cantor and Lance Thomas, and I ain't gonna say don't play him, but he played him too long and lost the whole week.
Yeah,
the Knicks could have won this game.
We were in it.
So as long as they stop Allen, they got to stop Allen. It means that Mitch Robinson I told you Mitch Robinson was ready. I've been saying that all year. Throw him out there and let's see.
I mean, we threw him out there, in 29 minutes tonight. I mean, he's not ready to grab double-digit rebounds. I can say that.
he's a presence out there. There's a lot of things you can't
he's
do
a presence
when you guard.
defensively. He's definitely a presence defensively. You know what I mean? Because he's gonna bother you when you come into the lane. Coming into the lane, he's gonna bother you.
They got to stop the guard, Levert and Dinwiddie. That means that Frank and Johnson, they got to do something with Hardaway minutes. He's playing too many minutes, and he's playing at crunch time when he needs to be on the bench.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Sucks.
I agree with you.
He's making 18, 19 million, and I know they're not going to do him dirty like that.
Yeah. Well,
we got to hide him when he's out.
Yeah, I don't call it doing him dirty. You know what I'm saying? I don't call it doing him dirty. If he's not getting it done, he's not getting it done. And I see some people in the chat saying, you know, maybe they're trying to raise his trade value. How do you raise his trade value when he shoots 43% from the field, shoots up these wild shots? Nobody wants to trade for that. Not at $17 million a year. Polo, what's your take on the Brooklyn game, man?
Well, if we don't have a hangover from today after this tough loss, we should come out, you know, ready to bust some, you know, some tail. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm from Brooklyn, but I'm out in Cali right now. And I'm not a Nets fan, will never be a Nets fan. I still think they're Jersey Nets. But other than that, Timmy is going to be Timmy. We all know that. I hope Fizz know that too. Because what's his name, who bust his ass last game, you know he's going to be licking his chops. As soon as the ball tips, he's going to lick his chops. He knows that Timmy's going to be on him. Yeah. So, and WE knows that. Hope Frank starts, you know what I mean? Because today, Frank was actually giving Klay Thompson the business. If you looked at it and you see how he caught him with that stutter dribble and went in with that floater, you know, Klay Thompson eyes open, he realized, he's really gonna have to play D. So just if they give Frank, you know, the 34 minutes that he's been doing all season, I don't see why we should even lose. Period. You know what I mean? Brooklyn is trash. I don't care what nobody say or whatever. They trash. They play hard, but they're trash. And when we lost to them that other game, I felt just like how you felt. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just heartbreaking. Yeah. It was like, how did we lose?
Right. Exactly.
But other than that, if we lose, I don't know. I really don't know what else to say. I just gonna have to be like, you know what? I'm not all in for that tanking shit like everybody else is wanting to tank. If we lose, something has to go down. Seriously, a trade or something, because this is just not working out, man. I love my team. I love everything in the preseason. I loved everything Fizdale was preaching, was saying, whatever. But when I start looking at, you know, breaking down things, the X's and O's, it's not the cohesiveness is just not there at certain times. And if I could see it, and I'm not a coach, why can't I Coach Fizz see it? So it's just like we just gotta go out, win this game, just get this monkey off our back. You know what I mean? 5 games in a row, that's not good in the NBA. We know that,
right?
Because that's gonna be hard to make up. And but we in the Atlantic, the only team we have basically worrying about right now with their record is Toronto. Everybody else is not really doing well. But other than that, we need to just gotta get on our game, man. We gotta get our game plan going. And one more thing, now just to get back to that Tim Hardaway thing you're talking about. Mm-hmm. If Fizdale do not get in his ass, he's gonna lose KP, because KP is the leader of that team. And if you notice, if you looked at the camera shots they were throwing at KP, there was no enthusiasm at him. There was no enthusiasm in his face at all. That whole game, there wasn't. There has to be a reason why. And all of a sudden, they didn't give him his contract extension, so they could lose KP real quick. And if they lose KP, they're gonna lose other key components to that team. So I don't know what is going on. I thought that, you know, we got a Miami Heat, you know, coach, you know, that's from the Pat Riley tree, because, you know, Pat Riley took us to the playoffs. Gundy took us to the playoffs. Boom, Fizdale's going to take us to the playoffs. But him cuddling up and letting Tim Hardaway suck a titty for some milk is not working, man. It really isn't. So,
You know what I mean? And one more thing about Tim Hardaway. You remember when he bumped knees, right? And all of a sudden the trainers and them came out. You remember when one of the trainers went to touch his knee and he slapped his hand away and he was acting like this man, like he blew an ACL? You know what I mean?
You know what? I need to go back and look at that. I didn't see that. I did see him bump knee. I didn't see that. I gotta check it out.
When the trainers came, touched his knee, he slapped his hand away. And Tim Hardaway was acting like he blew an ACL. I was like, I honestly thought that he did because the way he was like pounding on the floor and everything like that, I was like, yo, he blew an ACL. But like I said, back to the Brooklyn game. We just got to come out playing with intensity. We got to play like how because if we come in and play exactly how we played today, we beating them.
Okay.
That's all.
Well,
we beating
I hope
them.
so.
That's
I hope so. We'll see if we can, this should be a revenge match. I'm coming to Guillermo. I see Guillermo's talking, so I don't know if I should come to him or not. Oh, you good? All right.
I'm here.
Yeah, Guillermo, what do you think about this Brooklyn game, man? What's your thoughts on it?
This is a game we should win, and we're playing it. If I don't see the same lineup we had in the beginning, and if I don't see complementary plays in the second unit, like I don't want to see Hazonia, Trier, what's his other boy, Burke, and Tim Hardaway all playing as a second unit to try to bring us back or hold us down. If I don't see some semblance of defense in each unit, then I'm going to lose faith in him, man. Like, this dude, no offense, like, it's weird because I used to think that Fizdale was, like, this defensive guy, blah, blah, and I used to think that Spoelstra was the whatever, and Spoelstra's showing more reserve and game plan than this dude Fizdale, man. What I saw in Fizdale, I was very disappointed, so he better sharpen up. And I better see, he said, eat what you kill, whatever that stupid line is. Dotson, Vonleh, and Frank Ntilikina better be operating in that first unit. And Tim Hardaway better have a short leash, man. 38% shooting, and you're not driving to the basket enough? Nah, he needs to come out. So if I see that, if I see some accountability on Fizdale, then I think we could win this game. Because what I saw in that first half with Frank, we could beat a lot of teams. You could be a lot of bottom feeder and middling teams with what I saw in that first unit, man.
Yeah. I hope so, man. I hope so. And, like I said, this should be a revenge game. And, we should come out with some anger because we lost. We should come out with some anger.
Hey, Fizz, these big men got 6 fouls to give, bro. I want to see some fouls. I want to see some hard fouls, man.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Suspensions, I don't really care, man. Pay for his dinner for the week. Pay for his fine. I want to see some hard fouls, man. That's how you build up team unity, man. Not Tim Hardaway doing what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
Yo, Gamer lucky smacked bitches a couple times.
Isaiah, dang.
Oh.
Yeah. Golly, look at this.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Sam.
I hope your dad wasn't listening.
I'm sorry, man.
Hope your father wasn't listening.
Nah, he said. Dang, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Sam. My fault. I apologize for it. I'm sorry, man.
No, you good, man. We talking about the Brooklyn game, man.
You can go to me next and kick me off. You can go to me next.
No, we talking about the Brooklyn game, man. Go ahead.
Oh man. Beloved. All right, serious. All right, okay. My bad. My fault. I apologize. But yeah, like I'm gonna go with Grimo said. I hope we keep the same lineup. And I really hope that I want to see. And we all know he's gonna do it. Tim's gonna do it, and he's gonna shoot a bad shot. I need to see Fizdale yell at him. He has to get in his face. He basically has to say what I just said. That I apologize for. he has to, but he needs to set a tone for the rest of the team. Because right now, I hate to say it, he's our best player. You gotta yell at the best player. Greg Popovich used to yell at Tim Duncan, and look what that did for that team.
But I don't even know if we have a best player.
But you know what I'm trying to say though, Sam. Like I'm trying to say in the sense of. Greg Popovich used to yell at Tim Duncan, so right. It was no favoritism with Tim next to the last guy on the bench. When Greg Popovich used to do it. So, I need to see Fizz assert his authority and, keep that same energy with everybody. And
All right. Yeah. Let's see if we can, We're gonna have to do something. Shot. Does Fizdale have Twitter, Instagram, or anything like that?
No, his wife does though. I follow her.
We need to get at Fizz and let him know what we're thinking, man. Hey, Viv, it's on you, man. What's up with the Brooklyn game? What do you think about the Brooklyn game?
Yeah, nah. It's a good opportunity for a revenge game. If I'm the Knicks, I would finally try to win a game. The Nets are not really that great of a team, to be quite honest. I mean, the record probably tells you otherwise, but they should try to actually win this game. Have some meaningful substitutions for once, and maybe Fizz should learn. Maybe it's a good idea to stagger your substitutions. You don't have to play all your bench players at once. Right. You can play them with the starters, and they'll look just as good. They don't have to be one unit. So and do that.
Yeah, because one thing that I noticed when you look at every other team, and I know we don't have any player that's like a Durant or Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, but every other team we play, they have two. They have two stars or whatever. Mm-hmm. One of them's on the floor for the most part.
We did that like last year. We did it. Even we did it. We're not like incompetent like that. Like, the Knicks used to do it with KP. They would take him out. Exactly. They would have him start the second quarters, or he would start the second and fourth quarters of the bench unit. Yeah, we would do the same thing a couple of years. What was it? I mean, we've been doing that for a while too. It's just, does Fizz just think that we just got to play an entire second unit at once? I don't get it. You don't have to do that.
I mean, if you look tonight, maybe there was a stretch when neither Curry or Durant was on the floor, but for the most part, either Curry was on the floor or Durant was on the floor, or they're on the floor together, or Klay Thompson was on the floor. But there was always, for the most part, there's a starter on the floor.
Yeah, I'm saying now they did it with all the games. I think Milwaukee, that same thing happened where we had, who was it? We kind of didn't we get back in the game a little bit in the third quarter, and then all of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, we just kind of lost the lead, or we kind of lost the game.
I mean, and it's like, for the most part, now we have, I guess we have to say to ourselves, do we have players that deserve that kind of respect where you say, we always got to have one of these two guys on the floor? Do we have that? I don't know. Maybe he feels like all of our players are kind of on even footing, so it doesn't matter. And maybe,
but the question is, are they?
I know that's the question.
Are they actually on uneven footing? For example, if you look at Frank, right? Is he on uneven footing from a terms of defensive standpoint, compared to any other player? Like, that, every single game, there might be certain lapses here and there, off-ball defense, whatever it is. But that every single game he's going to give you defense, right?
Yeah.
So know that whenever you put him on the floor, right? He may not score, but there might be games where he doesn't score, but that he can defend the ball.
Yeah.
So that, all right, if I'm going to try to win this game, right, I need to have somebody there that can play defense a little bit, right? So what, if you have Frank starting because of his defense, right, what harm does it have to put him in there to start the fourth quarter to stagger some of these bench units? That the reason that all these players are on bench is if you try to mesh them up as one unit, you can't mesh them up as a unit. The reason the starting lineup's in there because you can mesh them up as one unit and they can play together as one unit.
Right.
You can't do that with anybody. You can't do that with the bench unit. They're not a unit.
Right. I agree. And one of the things that I'm going to be looking forward in this game is just to look at adjustments. They played the Nets once. Now let's see what kind of adjustments they can make coming into the next game. Right. So if they make some adjustments after playing them one time. I don't know what adjustment. I guess there's already a lineup adjustment with the starters. Mm-hmm. So we don't know if he's going to be able to make any team adjustments. Adjustments going strategic adjustments going against the Nets.
But I think the Nets, the thing that makes it a little more challenging than say the Warriors, right, is that the Nets are going to try to beat you the same way you try to challenge the other teams, and that they're going to also play scrappy in a sense.
Yeah.
So. How do you respond when a team just like you plays just as scrappy as you? Right. And I think that was kind of the problem because, when we played the Nets, they kind of like out-scrapped us at times. And then they just, they would just, get dribble penetration all the time. And then they would kill some of our defenders here and there. Yeah. LeVert got hot. So I guess, can you make an adjustment off that game, or do you really in all fairness, you can't really make too many adjustments after this game, because this game was kind of like a more of like an anomaly in some sort of stretches. It's just, this is kind of coming out of unexpected for a moment. Do you make adjustments in a sense from a game such as, Miami or like a Milwaukee, where we were kind of in the game for the most part, and we kind of lost it because of some tactical issues or some missed rotations or whatnot. So,
all right, yep. All right, I'm gonna come to chat. I'm gonna take like 2 more phone calls, and then I'm coming back for last words. We're gonna keep last words really short, 30 seconds, and then we're out of there. All right. So I'm gonna take these calls, and I'm coming back to you. Well, I thought I was gonna take a call. Looked like the person just got off the line. We'll see if they call back. But we're gonna keep it short. I just want to get your last words. What you want to sign off with. I'm gonna start with Ifoso. What's going on, man? Just give us your last words. 30 seconds.
Hey, what's going on, Sam? So basically, we need to control Tim Hardaway. Make sure he's not playing out of pocket. Definitely, I like the way Frank played. I think he needs to do that again and more. But that would be dependent on Coach Fitz and how he utilizes Frank. Make sure he's allowing him to just play his game. Make sure we keep Dotson in this game. Make sure we keep Dotson playing. I like to see Mitch Robinson get more minutes eventually. Let him build up his confidence, and he needs to get stronger.
Yeah.
And I think we could beat the Nets. I'm not worried about that team.
All right. I hope so, man. I thought we was going to beat them the first time, and we came up short. Hey, Ifosa, thank you for joining the chat. We look forward to seeing you again, man. Peace. All right, Ant. Last words,
what's
man.
up, Sam?
Last words.
I know all tonight we was talking about, our team and, what we could have done different, to pull out the game. But, man, Kevin Durant, man. I mean, that guy he's incredible. So I want to take a minute to acknowledge, what he put on the show. He what he did was special. Even when he shot that 3 with one leg, I thought it was going in. So I mean, he played a heck of a fourth quarter. I don't think we stood much of a chance to win the game with the way he was playing. But like we said before, I think we could have lost a little bit better, if that makes sense. But yeah, man, that was fun to watch, even though it was against us. He went off. I think we're gonna look back and we'll be able to say, tell your grandkids I saw that game. Because he was going bananas.
Yeah.
I never seen him like that before in my life in one quarter. So
who knows? Maybe we see him do it in the Garden next year.
Hopefully.
You never know. All right, Ant. I'll catch you Monday.
All right, man. Bet.
All right, peace. All right, Polo. It's on you, man. Nope.
Big shout out to the chat. This is the first time me being here. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
A little gunshot. I said shout out to the chat.
Mm-hmm.
First time being on it. Little gunshot, but it's all good. I'm gonna get used to my face and
right.
The orange and blue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Orange and blue. That's my squad. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how Monday goes. You know what I mean? We just got to beat them. That's all. We just got to get a win. Just get a win on our belt. You know what I mean? Because I honestly thinking that these losses is taking a toll on our team mentally. You know what I mean? Like I don't want us to be, how you say, lose, our mental edge, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden we just getting blown out every game because we just need something just to, to hold our hat on to the next game, you know what I mean? Because we don't need no, how you can say, these losses, you know what I mean? Oh, this is a morale loss, you know, and we can learn from it. We don't need that anymore, you know what I mean? We're already 6 games into the season, you know what I mean? So we need a win just to be like, okay, we got to win. Let's get this monkey off our back. Let's go to the drawing board and let's see what we could do, as, rotation-wise, because this rotation was good for the first 3 quarters, but like I said, the last quarter was horrible. So I hope Fizz realized that he can't do that again, and we just get this win, and you know what I mean, and just shut the Brooklyn fans up. Well, not the Nets fans up. I ain't gonna say Brooklyn because I'm from Brooklyn, so shout out to Brooklyn, but shut the Nets fans up because they're not the best team in New York. You know what I mean? Yeah. But other than that, everybody stay safe.
All right, man. Have a good weekend. Peace. All right. Viv.
Yep.
Just last words, man. Couple last words.
Not much, I've kind of cooled down a bit from this, from this Fizz nonsense. But hopefully, we'll kind of make up a little bit for Monday's game. We got a couple days of break, so we can kind of cool down and wind down a bit.
Yeah.
But we also have an opportunity. I guess for me at least, I'll try to watch some of the game and kind of pickpocket things that I think that were kind of good outside of, I guess, what I saw from the eye test. But
right.
I hope they haven't really had a stretch of off days like this in a while. They have 2 off days, so I hope they kind of take it a little seriously in a sense that they try to incorporate some more offensive flow and offensive sets that they need to. Fizz has to know this right now that there's no offensive continuity on the team.
Right.
You can just tell that they go to the same old sets. They have pretty much 2 basic sets, right? He goes to them and then they just they use it. They go to it all the time. So Fizz has to add more plays to the repertoire, and he needs them to practice it, and he needs to focus on a lot of those issues in the next 2 days. And that'll be the key to being the Nets.
Use this time, definitely use this time. Try to get these lineups with some continuity, some chemistry, or something.
Yeah.
Hey, Viv, appreciate it, man, and I'll catch you Monday.
Sounds good. See you Monday, man.
All right, peace.
Yeah.
All right, Guillermo.
Yeah, man. I just hope like I said, man, I hope I don't have a coach who's just trying to be a cheer, hurrah, rah, rah for the free agents that are coming due, man. Because what I saw tonight was not coaching, man. It's in the crunch time, man. No accountability. Having a guy who's shooting 38% go out there and you're depending on him because he might make a surprise 3. Versus you had a system. Like I've been preaching at the beginning of the season, even before. You need a system. You need a culture. When I see a guy like Frank playing shutdown defense on Curry, hitting threes, doing up and unders, facilitating the offense, playing great on defense. When I see Von Lake contributing, when I see Dotson playing like a prototypical 2, defending, hitting shots, driving to the basket, facilitating, those are the guys I reward. Right? You talk about eat what you kill, whatever. You're sitting here trying to appease Tim Hardaway. He's trying to appease his father. Screw Tim Hardaway. If you're not, what the funniest thing is? If you actually wanted to help Tim Hardaway, I would actually pull him out the game and be like, look, you might not be with the Knicks next year, but I'm trying to help you make you a better person. So whatever team you go to, they appreciate you. Or you could go to a team where you could contribute more than just shooting a bunch of threes. So to me, man, I'll be short. This Nets game, we better win this Nets game, man. It better be clinical how he coaches his team with the rotations, but how he plays these guys. And Frank Ntilikina better get a lot of minutes for what he did tonight, man. Because what he did with Curry and what he did with Durant, what Dotson did with Curry and Durant, those guys, they deserve a lot of minutes. Same thing with Von Lay, man. Same thing with Mitchell, too, at the beginning. So peace out to you, Sim. I see you on Monday, man. Peace out, Isaiah.
Right, man. Peace. All right, Isaiah.
I'm proud of you, man. The comment I made, I thought you were going to do me first. You know what, Sim? You a good man, man. You a good man.
I know I caught you off guard. I unmuted you in both when you were saying it. I know I caught you off guard.
I had a who's Mark moment. We just gonna leave it to that. I had a who's Mark moment. But yeah, man. It was a great video chat tonight. There's a lot of people here that know basketball. And they saw what they saw, and they saw that this isn't the right way to lose. And I think me and you can agree, and a lot of people can agree, that we can stand losing as long as it's played the right way. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to lose. I hate losing. I really am. I'm so loser. But if we're going to lose the right way, man. This wasn't a good way to lose. We should have, wholeheartedly, we should have only lost by like at least 10 points. At least.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to disagree with that. Honestly, we should have lost by 10 points. But, I think, and this is one thing I'll say about Fizz, I think he's somebody that will own up to his mistakes. He'll go over the video. He'll watch what he did, and he'll adjust to it. The only thing that really scares me with the adjusting is he gonna keep the same energy with Tim Hardaway?
Yeah.
You know, that's you know what, man? That's really the biggest thing I'm looking for on Monday is that I need Fizz to, and you know what though, Sim, this is the best thing that can happen to Tim, because Tim needs to be controlled to be his best.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now he looks like a kid in a candy store, and his mother's like, pick whatever candy you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, the kid's gonna rot his teeth out. You got to bring the kid back and go like, hey, you can get one Reese's. Hey, you can get one Kit Kat, whatever.
Yeah, I feel.
But you're gonna eat that. But you're gonna eat that damn Tootsie Roll.
Right. Yeah, I feel you. Hey, Isaiah, man, I'll be back Monday, 7:00 for the pregame.
This was a great chat. Shout out to everybody. If you ain't subscribe, you better do it. Shout out to Chris the Entertainer. Shout out to you. Shout out to Viv. No hey, listen, man. Shout out to Troy Flip, man. I give him a lot of crap all the time, but he wasn't a fake hater, man.
That's it.
Shout out to everybody. We'll see you Monday, Sim.
All right. Peace.
All right, peace out, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to the end of the show, man. And, you know, I know we had a lot of, you know, we had a lot of gripes tonight. A lot of it about David Fizdale. You know what I mean? And rightfully so, I believe. But, you know, there's just a few things that I want us to keep in mind. One, just a few words. Let me say that. One, the number one word I want to keep in mind is accountability. Everyone has to be held accountable. We talked about it a whole lot tonight. Everyone has to be held accountable. If you're not going to hold people accountable, then any kind of culture that you're trying to build it's not going to work. It's gone. It's done. It's out of there. Accountability has to be the number one thing right now for Coach Fizdale. And he has to hold everyone accountable, including himself. Scott Perry has to hold him accountable. I do want to say, I do want to give him praise for not being afraid to make a change. Right? What was it? 5 games, 6 games, or whatever it was. He made a quick change. You know what I mean? So I want to give a shout out for that. Give a shout out to him for that, for making a quick change, not being afraid to make a change. Now we need to see him not be afraid to hold Tim Hardaway accountable or anybody else on the team. Hold those guys accountable. That's the only way to keep the team moving and going in the right direction. We are moving in the right direction. As much as we are not crying, but upset tonight, we're upset not because we lost. We're upset because of the way that we lost when we played such a good game. We're going to have a lot of games that unravel for us down the stretch, but it doesn't have to be a 30-point unravelization, if that's even a word. I don't know. Right? It doesn't have to be that what we seen tonight. So, Fizz, you got to hold the guys accountable. Hard work. Continue to work hard. The guys do work hard. I will say that. They play hard. They work hard. I think these guys really do believe that they can win every game that they're playing. There's going to take some time for some of these, some of the chemistry has to work out still. And that a part of that is on Fizz to make sure he has the right lineups in the game so that the lineups can work well and work out together. That's on Fizz. But the guys do work hard, and even though we're losing, we're 1-6 right now, 1-5, 1-6, 1-5 right now. We're losing these games. We've been in some games we shouldn't have been. We lost games that we shouldn't have lost. At least one game against Brooklyn that we shouldn't have lost. Hopefully, we get a little bit later. We'll start turning these games into victories. Right, but right now we gotta work on holding everyone accountable and continue to work hard and play hard, and then add some offense. We can score 100 points. We can score above 100 points most likely. Once we get some fluid offense where, we're really sharing the basketball, we're gonna be a much better team. Much better team, because I think we can be a good defensive team. But if you are shooting a low percentage on the offensive side of the floor, you're giving the team more possessions. You're giving your opponent more possessions, which is going to make your defense look like when the final statistics come out, it's going to look like you're not really playing defense because you're giving your opponent so many more possessions to try to score. So we gotta shoot efficiently. I mean, that's going to be a problem. That's been a problem. We get the way to do that is to get a more fluid, efficient offense so that we're getting guys open shots, easy looks. But ladies and gentlemen, I do want to make a couple of announcements. Not really announcements. If you are interested in writing, doing a few blog posts, once a week for nothingbutnicks.com, hit me up. I'm going to put my email address in the chat. Hit me up and, let me know that you're interested. And, I can get a sample of your work and, we can work that out. I'm trying, I want to build the website up to be, a place where people can go and get content, New York Knicks content. I may even think about doing a podcast on there. So, I'll take submissions and see, if you have ideas, things like that. We could talk about it, see what's going on. But if you're interested in doing some blogging, listen, you can go on Nothing But Knicks right now, and there's a forum. You can just post in the forum. But if you're interested in doing some blogging, hit me up and we can talk about it. Anyway, have a good weekend, ladies and gentlemen. You can also, if you go on nothingbutnicks.com, those Martin Luther King Day tickets are still available. Go take a look at it. But I will see you Monday. I may have a video out before then, but I'll see you Monday, 7:00, pregame, Brooklyn Nets versus New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. We're going to talk about some keys to success, lineups, everything. Let's get with it. Peace.